Let us use the definition of proportion. A proportion is simply two ratios set equal. So think about the ratio of 1/2. Well, we could set that equal to 4/8. Those are two ratios. They are set equal. And in fact, 1 times 4 gives me 4, and 2 times 4 gives me 8. So these are equivalent ratios, right? Equivalent fractions. And so when we set them equal, we have ourselves a proportion. Now, in general, a proportion is written as A over B equals C over D, right? A fraction equaling a fraction. But it's important to note that B and D are both not equal to 0. Because if either of these denominators is 0, then the whole thing falls apart. So it's important to remember we do not have denominators of 0. So let's write the sentence as a proportion. 4 is to 9 as 20 is to 45. Okay, here we go. 4 is to 9 as 20 is to 45. That's the sentence. And if you want to check it, think about this. 4 times 5 gives me 20. 9 times 5 gives me 45. That checks out. Write this sentence as a proportion. $8.50 for 4 ounces is equivalent to $12.75 for 6 ounces. Well, $8.50 for 4 ounces is equivalent to $12.75 for 6 ounces. Well, this isn't as easy to verify, but I want to throw something at you. If we come back here, and we want to verify this, notice if I take 9 times 20, that's 180. If I take 4 times 45, that's 180. If I take 1 times 8, that's 8. If I take 2 times 4, that's 8. We can solve and verify proportions by cross multiplying. So is 850 times 6 the same as 4 times $12.75? Well, what is 850 times 6? 850 times 6 is 51. And 4 times $12.75 is 51. So yes, this checks out as a proper proportion. And that's how we can verify. We verify a proportion. We can also solve proportions, which we will get to later, by using the method of cross multiplication. Okay, so when we have A over B equals C over D, that means we are taking A times D equals B times C. Very, very important. Okay, so let's determine whether the following equation is a proportion. We're verifying, and we verify by that cross multiplication method. So numerator and denominator, opposite ratios. So I have 20 times 18. Is that equal to 12 times 30? Now, I just want to throw it out that this is the same as 18 times 20 and 30 times 12. It doesn't matter what order, because the left and the right side, they're going to equal the same thing. So in this case, 18 times 20, or 20 times 18 is 360, and 30 times 12 is 360. So yes, those are equal. It checks out. Yes, this letter A is a proportion. Okay, let's look at letter B. I have 12 times 14, which is 168. Is that equal to 8 times 20, which is 160? In fact, the answer to that is no. 168 does not equal 160, so no, part B is not a proportion.